All right, ladies and goblins, what is up? We are back again for another episode of Z Speaks, and today we are reacting to Sara the tomato trying to rebuild the connection with Andrew. At least that's the title. Let's get right into it and see what's going on. Is she going to be able to get back in Andrew's good graces? Some tells me probably not. Good TV.
All right. I think all this other stuff is
course,
hogwash. I don't think
family.
it's banter on.
Every
I don't
time,
think it's
folks.
worth any conversation. It's just a bunch of like mud flinging.
Real quick, for those who don't know, this is a follow-up to last episode, so if you don't know what's going on, go back to the last episode and check it out.
Ed Walls. Andrew, let me start. I apologize to you. I don't know.
Okay, here comes the apology. My bad. I've been kind of excited about this. I've heard about this for a while, so I'm going to make a prediction. I predict it's going to be like a half apology. It's going to be like, I'm sorry, but shouldn't have done this, XYZ. Watch. Let's see. Am I right?
Why? Thanks for the entertainment,
I'll
Sarah.
say it this way. Like, my behavior towards Rob was mine. I owned it. I happily owned it.
Yeah, you made your
I will
bed.
criticize his behavior. On that panel, I was critiquing his behavior. I didn't send anybody.
Is that Rob? Sounds like Rob's voice, but I don't see him on the panel. Is that him in the top right?
To brigade him. I didn't send
Not
anybody
sure.
to troll him.
Not sure.
But if you take offense to that, then I apologize. I would have happily had this conversation privately.
See, real quick, already it's like, if you take offense to that, not I did something wrong. If you take offense to that, I'm sorry. I don't know. I can kind of understand how maybe she'd be thrown off guard if, like, maybe she didn't really expect that to be an issue. I can also understand why Andrew is, like, coming in hot like a fucking vulture, because it's like, no, we don't do that. But if you're gonna apologize, you gotta apologize. You gotta go all the way. You can't apologize and then be like, I'm sorry that you felt that way. Like, come on, this is gonna piss him off more. Let's see what happens.
To Rob going nuclear and you going nuclear, and we would have talked this out, and I would have.
I do think she has a small point. Well, she would have a point, right? She would have a point about the whole come to me and talk to me in private thing, but then it's like, you just blasted homie in public, so I don't know. I think she fucked up.
We've done a public apology for it, but nobody wanted to ask me the questions, so everybody just went nuclear, and I think all of this other rolling downhill is just a big mess, and it's not worth it. Let's start with that. However, I will also say I think everybody is flipping those clips from that panel around the wrong way. There's a lot of stuff switched around in context. I don't think people are hearing the whole thing and the whole conversation. We had talked specifically about what the panel verse is and engagements and behaviors for a whole 3 hours. There was a whole thing about it. And it was just bringing all of the conversation together. And I talked about Rob's behavior on Trippy's panel, and I don't think it was good behavior as a panelist, especially. I think that's what really upset me the most.
I still kind of want to know the whole context in its entirety. Like, did he just trip for no reason? But just going off what I saw, it did not seem like he tripped at all. Like, you see how she's trying to deflect and deflate it? Not going well.
Trippy was trying to do that for his mom. She was in the hospital. She needed money for medical bills and stuff, and he was trying to put something together for that. And so for Rob to kind of crap all over that was a really big insult, I think, to him. And so I criticized that behavior, and I think it was wrong. The guys going over to Rob's panel, they started doing that on their own. The first one was North. He went over because he's a Connor person, and he had that conversation. And then I think Ortho guy went over. I never told him to do anything. The guys just started doing their thing. And I don't think me laughing at stuff that they were saying was wrong. I think it was actually funny. But again, if somebody just reached out to me and said something like, hey, this is upsetting, can we talk about it? I would have handled that way differently. I do this a lot with a lot of different people. I handle a lot of things privately. I'm not a big drama fan. So yeah, I'll start there.
Apology accepted. I appreciate it. And yeah, you won't have any problems out of me. I didn't plan on giving you any in the first place. And that's why I haven't been giving you any. Like, there's no, like I don't. There's
I mean,
no. There's what problems have I been giving?
I've been getting harassed a lot in DMs and comments and things like that. I've been getting since.
Yeah, but do
since
you
that
honestly
first
believe
day.
that I instructed anybody to do that?
I listen. I'm not saying you told them to do it. That is a definite brigade in that moment that you did, and they did come and harass the chat, and it was during a debate, and it was very unprofessional. I thought, not only just for you, but for your people.
That wasn't a brigade.
It
That was me doing a live stream, and I could talk.
Didn't I call that shit? She's like, well, I do think that you fucked up. Like, she can't just take the L.
If I'm talking on a
Just to
live stream
deflect.
about a thing that I'm talking about, even if people go over to your channel and they unsubscribe, that is not brigading.
it was the
Brigading is
chat. It
targeted
was-
harassment,
Yes.
and that is the person trying to targetedly harass you. And I've never done that. I've never targeted any creator for targeted harassment.
In that moment during that stream, we were doing a debate, and the harassment came in the chat. I had to put it in they had to put it in super slow mode. I had to put 7 day subscriber list. It was a mess. It was a total mess. It was very distracting from the actual debate and conversation.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
not. Listen,
I'm
that's
not
not
saying
brigading.
that's your fault. What I'm saying is that your people did that.
No,
If
right?
Hassan
you did that to
Piker-
yourself.
If Hassan Piker or Destiny is talking about me while I'm live streaming, there's going to be hundreds of people from their chat who are going to come over to try to get my attention, or to try to inform me that that's going on, or to kick up or something like that. Because when you have thousands and thousands of live viewers, that's what happens. Fractions of them do all kinds of shit. There's nothing you can do about it. There's literally nothing you can do about it. It's happened to me.
Not only is that true, not only is there you can't control the internet, first of all. Second of all, dude, she did that shit to herself. Like, it was like was it Hassan Piker, is that the dude's name, who was like shocking his dog live on camera? Like, if you do that, people are gonna react. You know what I mean? It's not the dog's fault. Just because the dog has fans doesn't mean he sent them after you. It makes no sense. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, obviously, if he's pissed ranting on a stream, people are gonna come over, but it's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like she pissed the audience off. It wasn't Andrew being like, go get her. Like, not at all.
1,000 times when different streamers are talking about me when I'm live. It's happened a ton of times. Tons of times. It's even happened to me. It's even happened to me from your people when I've gone live. They've come over. There's just fewer of them, but they've come over and been like, hey, this and that. I don't like what's going on with this. I don't like what's going on with that. I wouldn't accuse you of brigading because you're talking about me and your people come over.
I mean,
Facts.
I would disagree with that moment and what happened in that moment and what happened in the chat. But even at that, those are still
you
the
see what I mean?
harassment and
It's
all
like
of
Sarah, this
this.
chatter that's here. He goes, you can tell people not to go harass her. I did tell him
actually
that,
did.
and
I saw
Dusty
that.
refuses.
Well, they're not
He literally said that on his stream.
I
Yeah, they
heard
just
you.
literally
I heard
Maybe
what
you should have thought about
I
that before
heard
you
all
did
of
what
the
you
other
did,
stuff you
Sarah.
said. I'm not telling them to not. I'm not telling them to unsubscribe. I'm not telling them to do that. But
By the way, don't forget to like, sub, and comment, all that good stuff. Let's go.
you have to have some form of knowledge that they're going to do that if you do a live stream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the thing is like I have knowledge that anytime somebody does a live stream about me, I can expect members of their chat to come over and be belligerent or whatever. And nobody on this panel stream right now is the exception to that. Not you and not Dusty. So if you're doing a live stream about me and you have two chatters, which is, let's say you have 20 and two of them come over, right? Isn't that 10% of your chat coming over to harass me? It's like, it's just that the problem is that it's scalable. And so it's like, well, you notice it, I guess, when I do it. It's just that nobody notices it when you do it, but it's the same exact process.
Yes, but everybody's aware that we're live streaming about this thing. I was hosting a debate and you held that stream while I was already live doing something completely different, knowing there's nothing I could do about it in that moment. Right.
You think that was calculated?
No,
I didn't even know
what
you
I'm
had
saying,
a debate going. I didn't even know.
Marte was debating.
was
that was going on. Yeah, I didn't even know what was going on. I just picked a time. I just picked a time and streamed.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
not saying you
we don't look at your
calculated it.
fucking
I'm just
channels
saying
before
that
we
doing
stream.
that. Well,
You're
you
saying I
had to have
That's
known.
laughable.
I'll say it, yeah.
That's
Well,
laughable.
what I'm saying is
Okay.
you had to have known I was live because you
No.
said go show her, and then
Well, I knew. Listen, I knew you were live. I knew you were live, like halfway into the
Like,
stream.
yeah, after the fact.
But I didn't go live because you were live. I just went live because that was the streaming time I had picked.
yeah,
Exactly, Scarn.
that's fine, Andrew. I'm not going to battle on that one. But what I'm saying is, like I've just been getting harassment after harassment after harassment.
Again,
since that moment.
when you
the
trash
DMs,
an
and I just
entire
delete
audience
them. I
of
don't
a
even
quarter
read them at
million
this point,
people,
but
what do you expect to
it's just
happen?
there's a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with because of that
Especially
night
when
when
they're
I think all of
An
this could
audience
have
of
been
like
resolved
Crucible.
a lot
Can she not hear him? Because I low-key like to hear her response to that.
We're not
better and more
exactly
professionally if you had just reached out,
daisies over here.
messaged me, said,
Or
"What
is
the
that Rob
Sarah?
reacting to this
Call
video?
me right now," and I would have called
Dude,
you.
the internet's
and I
getting
would
so
have
annoying.
dealt
It's
with
like
it.
a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. I mean, like, what am I doing? I'm reacting to a reaction. Like, pretty soon it's just going to be like 45 little, like, pictures inside of a picture. We're not even going to know who we're listening to. I feel like it's already like that.
And I would have swallowed my pride and dealt with it the way it needed to be dealt with without taking on all of this harassment and stuff. And
Well, don't
nobody
diss a
would have
quarter
had to
million
have broken
people,
up.
and you won't like. It's not even
Like,
first of all not harassment.
I
Just
think
people
Rob just
responding
went
to you
nuclear,
dissing
and
them.
you felt that.
Unfortunately for
and
you, you
wanted
forgot
to
that the
have your
audience
boy.
was a
I
quarter
get that.
million
I'm not
people
mad
big.
at that. What I'm
Like,
saying
look,
is,
right
Yeah,
now,
that's
to
there's
talk
low-key what it
about
seems
a
like.
people on our
professional
channel, 2 channels
relationship, but
watching
then
this.
to handle things very unprofessionally.
It seems to me like, yeah, exactly. Like, she thought, she got a little bit big for her britches. She was used to, like, talking smack to whoever comes in the chat, which I totally understand. You know, when you have a platform, you get used to doing things a certain way. People come in, like, but when the big dog comes in, you can't just treat them like little bro. You can't treat the big dog like little bro. Can't do
You
it.
can't have it both ways in that aspect.
Can't do it.
Well, I mean, you're subject to the same criticism. It's like, okay, if it was really about professionalism, then I would think that it was very unprofessional for you to be on a panel where they were brigading purposely Rob Noor, and that was actual brigading. They
Yes.
were sending
That was-
trolls
that
over.
was not
Actual
at all
brigading.
Yeah, you were sending.
Hold on, if I could back that up though, but Rob willingly dropped the link to them, and he continued letting them back up again, right?
And invited.
And he even said he didn't have an issue with them doing it. He said it was fun. He made money off of it, and that's how I looked at it too. Like, oh, Rob's like getting some extra dough coming in. It's fun, whatever. Like, nobody's mad. He didn't appear mad about it at all. If he seemed upset about
He
it,
definitely appeared mad to me, and he definitely appeared mad the next day.
No,
didn't-
he was
seemed
mad.
To,
He
seemed
was
to think
mad.
that he was being harassed. Yeah.
He was, well, no, he specifically said that they didn't cross any lines. They didn't like do anything wrong. He had fun. He had a good time with it. Like, he said he had no issue with it.
That's not what he said. It's just bogus.
No,
That's
he
not what
was
said.
he was mad at me. Like,
Yeah, he did not say that. He said the exact opposite of that. He said that he was upset. He said it looked calculated. He said it looked like you guys. He was unaware that there was a panel going on sending people over there. He was unaware of this.
It was
He was
clearly
not unaware of it.
calculated.
He looked right at the camera and said, "Flo, come over here."
mhm.
Oh, what? An hour
He
in?
talked right at me.
An hour in? See,
Yeah,
these are the
panel-
contexts
the
these
panel
fucking
that you
losers
were,
leave
you
out.
were on was Flo that Sarah was on. Was that
An
your
hour
panel?
into the brigading or more.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, is that he didn't know that there was an entire panel there that was sending people over there to troll his chat. He didn't know that.
His chat was telling him that that's where they were
He-
coming from.
He didn't know it. And
He
it was
did
clear in the
know it.
video he
But-
didn't know it. But
okay.
even that aside, even if he did, right? It's such an optical eyesore. And it's like, look, if you don't know what you don't know, fine, that's fine, right? But I'm always the same way. I've always been this way with everyone. And and you knew this, right? From the very beginning of talking to me, right? But very, very low threshold when it comes to people creating disturbances and issues around any of the projects I'm doing or companies I'm doing. And I usually will just literally just distance myself. I'm just done instantly. That's the way I've always
Except
been
for
when I do
Rob.
business. What do you?
It's kind of
what do
the
you
better
mean,
way to
except
do
for
it.
Rob.
Well,
Rob's not an
well,
eyesore. Rob's a huge creator. He's not an eyesore. I don't know what you're talking.
I'm not going to go down that route. I think that
Rob hits all his dono goals.
If that is,
and I gotta say,
then
how
Rob
are
going
these people going over and harassing her?
It would have never even
they're
been
unsubscribing in the thousands.
This is the
exactly.
She's
That's what happened.
Subscriber only mode. So how are they even commenting on her
in the
stream?
Morning, giggling at this.
Sounds like to me, boys.
Rob came and made it explosive.
Smells like
made it a big deal. But even at that, again, I didn't send anyone over. He was saying that I coordinated this and that I like set all this up and did all I did was show up. I had raided Flo earlier that night, and then I went and hung out on his panel, and that's when North started talking, and North decided to go over there first.
Look, ultimately for me, it just comes down to this, right? If it comes down between you or somebody else and Rob, it's going to be Rob.
That's fine.
That's that. I mean, and the thing is,
decision. There's no changing
the thing is like that's always going to be the case. I'm always going to get my boys' backs, no matter what.
I get that.
And the old adage applies. You get up at the bar room, right? Your friend picks a fight. You get up at the bar room. You get up with him. It doesn't matter about it afterwards. But the thing is like that wasn't even what I was upset about. Just didn't understand why in the middle of this big business transaction. That it was just such terrible optics. I'm like, why? Just why? It's just so silly. That's the thing. It's like it didn't even. What should have happened there is both of you should have distanced yourself from both of each other. That's what should have happened. No, what do I know?
Well, I mean,
really?
Yeah.
But even at that, if that is the case, then Rob doing that big 3-hour rant about me not even
you
saying he
brigaded
didn't
his
talk
channel?
to you first about it. He just went and did this.
So
stream.
sorry if I
Wouldn't
chat
that be
over with this
worse
line. Saying,
that
my
he would
bad.
even do that.
Sorry, guys.
What?
Shut
the
up.
Stream?
His 3-hour rant, mad at me for the night
brigading
before.
him.
Like, wouldn't that be worse if
no?
It's kind of dramatic language.
Hold on.
Brigade.
If it's,
They brigaded me.
If it's
brigaded
business
me.
related, right? And now I was not aware that Rob was even in on this bigger project.
I wish I watched it happen
I didn't
because
know that.
it's a little.
But,
I'm losing the context a little
even
bit
with
here.
that,
Big
like
oops from your side.
I did not look at this as like a bad thing in that aspect because Flo was in Crucible Discord. Flo like hung out with you guys on panels and has done stuff, right? So I thought it was just fun between two channels, having fun, going back and forth, whatever. So that's my start for that. But even if this is a business thing and Rob goes and explodes because he knew I was in on this project, right? Then
you nailed
that's
it
actually
there.
worse for
It's not
him
the harassment.
to do
It's
that.
the silence and the lost
shitting
revenue.
on someone
That's
who's
the
being
harassment.
brought in on a project.
The fact that she's been ditched.
He had every right to be upset about the fact that he was getting brigaded by those channels.
Right, but if it's
he had every
business,
right to be mad about it.
If it's a business relationship,
I don't think
instead of going and exploding like that, again, we could have just had the private conversation.
Well, I mean, my understanding from what I saw in DMs, he tried to have a private conversation. That's not
that.
He did not. And then you would take those and make those public, right?
No, all he did was say, "I'm going to talk about this power of the panel verse." It was very. It was a very.
No, there was DMs back and forth before that, Sarah.
For what?
Between the two of you.
For that moment?
No, even before that.
Hey,
you guys started to have problems.
I always worked with him privately.
Doobie nailed it.
To work through his
Too
issues
long,
with
don't
other
read. Andrew
streamers,
didn't protect
and then
me from the
every time he
consequences of
went
my
public.
bad behavior. I swear to
Yeah,
God,
my
man.
understanding is the opposite. Was that
I got a banger of a joke
that you were going
in the
public with
chamber.
this stuff. But even if that's not the case,
no,
right,
it's not the
those
case at all.
details
Yeah,
were
I agree with
always
that.
completely unconcerning to me. The only thing concerned to me is that
why you didn't see me getting mad or calling you or telling anybody about it because I was handling
get
them
sleep
privately
paralysis
behind the
demons
scenes,
and just
then
see
the very
accountability
next day,
in the
he would go
corner.
and stream about very said thing, and I'm like, what is he doing? So to me, I just chalked it up as well, whatever. Like, I even had to
sleep
message him
paralysis
saying,
demon
"Hey,
is
your
accountability."
people are commenting saying that like if you ban Rob and blah blah blah," and he's like, "No, let me correct that," because he's talking about stuff that we're talking about privately on his show, which fine if he wants to do that, but that's not how I handle things very privately. But even at that,
that panel wasn't private.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier.
With that
the dusty crowd.
with that panel, it was
posted in the Discord
again.
there,
I thought
Wayward.
it was just everyone was having. They just had a show together, right? There, everyone's just having fun. I didn't take it as like they're at war for
Well,
anything.
let me ask you something else that has been bothering me, right? So since we're on here having a conversation anyway. When you did your response stream, you said you were trying to distance yourself from the Crucible, like over time, because the chat was bothering you. The people in the Crucible were too rowdy, or whatever it was, right? You're trying to distance yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you said you omitted that you were trying to set up the Roma debate with me? You said the last time he was on was with John Fugelsang, and of course I'm going to take that because it was just like free money for you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, I get that, but like when you said you were trying to distance yourself, you had tried to set up the Roma army debate, and I didn't ask you to do that. You came to me for it.
I was originally.
How were you trying to distance yourself while at the same time you're trying to get me on to debate on your channel again?
Because
I was originally trying to get Marte, because Marte wanted me to get her on. She wasn't budging on that one, and then Rachel was having her stuff. I was trying to work on that one, and then that obviously didn't work because you wanted it, because she talked about his wife, and I think that's fine. So then I was like, all right, well, let's just move on to the, like, it's more along the lines of trying to get Roma on, right? And you are the one that wants
doesn't sound like you're trying to distance yourself from me.
No. Hold on. I have not been actively trying to find
that totally sounds like a flip flop to me. Like, she's like just completely lining her pocket with all their money, and then like as soon as it hits the fan, she goes, "Well, actually, I was trying to distance myself." Like, okay, it's not what it looks like. What are you talking about?
For you prior to that, like I think the last one before John Fugelsang was in early September with Josie.
Yeah, because I was busy.
But what's going on in my chat and my panels is it's getting a little overrun by Crucible people. So
how is it being overrun when they've unsubscribed and you've put your unsubscriber only mode?
And that kind of goes against my whole
doesn't add up.
The space that I offer, the means of my platform, and who I bring on, and how I have an open door policy. So it was starting to become an actual issue, and I was running into a lot of walls because the Crucible was just too
powerful.
Had too much.
Say powerful. Say it.
In not just
too
you,
powerful.
But like the panelists, the chatters, the so on and so forth.
So Sarah, we got you messaged me about Adam Steelborn, right? You wanted to do a debate on Christian ethics. That was that's in September.
That was his. And then
he had Fugelsang, and then you asked me about Roma Army. This does not look like you were trying to distance yourself at all. Like that literally doesn't look like you're trying to distance yourself. It looks like the opposite.
Yeah. I kind of knew you weren't going to take the Steelborn one. I think I said that too. I kind of knew you weren't going to take that one, but I wanted to be kind to Steelborn because he did ask for you, and I respect people with what they originally want. So you declined that one, as I assumed, and so I think I had already recommended to him.
It just doesn't look like you were trying to distance yourself at all. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's if you want to say it, that's fine. I'm not going to argue you on my intentions.
Well, I mean, it just, I don't know. So to me, because the appearance was Andrew's a cult leader, his people are sycophants.
You
blah, blah,
people
blah, blah,
said
the
it.
Powdered Dusty and other people are in your orbit who enhance the streams. That
they
he's a
say
cult
that.
leader.
That's
He's a this. He's a that. Blah 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 blah. When you say, "Oh, I was secretly trying to distance myself over time and this and that," it gives the impression that, and then you say, "Well, it's because look, I had only had this one debate." With John Fugelsang, that was because I was busy the month before, but when in fact you had actually approached me with an offer for multiple debates after both before Fugelsang and after Fugelsang. So that's why I'm like, that doesn't seem correct to me. That seems like,
did you infer that?
Yeah, she definitely inferred that she was trying to. She didn't infer; she just said it outright. Like I was trying to distance myself from the Crucible. Now I'm free from the evil cult of the Crucible, basically, right?
Now we covering that up.
That was like basically
she was trying to distance, or she had.
Yeah, now she's trying to save face.
She dropped you.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna drop.
I didn't say that.
But
she
I wasn't
said that.
trying
She said
to...
that she was attempting to distance herself,
Right.
and the justification was, you notice how they only did the one debate on my channel. But what was neglected to be stated was that she approached me with multiple debates, both before that and after that. That's not distancing.
It probably is from earlier. Yeah.
What?
It probably is. Is it less communication than you'd had prior to that?
Not really.
I mean,
no,
not really. No.
Not really.
And
no,
says she
it
made
really
a cringy
wasn't.
video about Rob and Andrew
Look,
and
I'm
still
very
on her
short
channel.
and sweet in my
I bet she's talking
communications.
smack.
Just
I
like
bet you.
information
I
done.
bet you she's
done.
talking smack.
I don't really say too much outside of that. I don't need to, right? It's just like, here's the info. Here's the prompt. Here's the prompt. Here's whatever. I'm not very mouthy in DMs, but it doesn't look to me like there was any. It looked to me like it was like a post hoc thing. I was actually trying to get away from the Crucible. So that's all. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Just post hoc.
It doesn't.
Actually, I wanted to break up with you first.
That's what it looked like with you saying not to
That's
brigade.
exactly what
her.
it was.
After brigading, it looked like a post hoc.
No,
I said that
because
before
he never
I
said
ever said
brigade
the other
once.
thing, bro.
Dumbass.
Do you realize that?
Also,
I said it
unsubbing
both
isn't
before
brigading.
and after. Do not harass this woman.
We've
First of all,
just right
I
in the
have a
middle.
zero tolerance policy in harassment anyway. I always have.
Always
I've
have.
You do?
Well established.
Do you
I've
want
knew
the names
people
of the
right
people?
I've knew
Do you want us to
people
give
right
you
out
the
of
names
chat.
of the people?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You want us to give you the names of everybody? Everybody
in my
who's
chat,
harassed.
if
I
there's
want
people in
proof,
my
too.
chat who are privately DMing people and harassing them, absolutely, I'll nuke them out of the chat right now. I've always had that.
What
I've
about-
already
what about
got, I
Better
already
show
got
proof,
a nice, nice message from someone saying, from Dagoth, you are saying, cry more. Your voice cracking.
Literally
amuses
never
me.
heard
I
of
do
him.
apologize. I am sick today, so this was not on my to-do list.
Yeah,
But
sure.
do you want us to
If you
give
have a list, if you have a list of people who are in the Crucible chat who are harassing you, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
We'll
they
get
would
them
be
out of the
harassing
community
us
immediately.
on our pages. They can't harass us at your chat because we're not there, right?
There's a lot of
If they're a person who's harassing you and I'm aware of it and I can do something about it, Dusty, then I'll do something about it.
Okay.
just
But
go in the comments.
I can only do what's within my power to do. Like, what am I supposed to
I
do?
agree.
Should I hunt
I
these
agree.
people
Oh
down?
yeah,
and
she's
beat
also
them
been
about
talking
head and
shit the
shoulders?
whole time since
I mean,
this
what are
happened
you
in her
gonna do?
Discord.
Right, yeah.
I
like,
mean,
which thing
I'm
to
just
do?
I'm just trying to get clarity on the offer that you made. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to block them? Are you going to?
If they're in my chat,
Show
and
me
they're
proof.
harassing her, yeah, I'll get them out of the
Yeah,
chat.
Dusty,
of course, and out of the
DM me
community.
proof.
I've always had a
in
zero
your chat
policy.
harassing
I've
her.
always had a zero tolerance policy on creator harassment. We've never
So
done it.
if they're in your chat and they're harassing her, would that look like all the comments that were coming back when they were unsubscribing?
That's not harassment. Many of those
Well,
people just gave opinions.
Yep.
They weren't harassing
How
nobody.
could somebody harass her
Harassment's
in your
like
chat?
Good
you're
point by Rob.
consistently and constantly sending DMs to a person or
Okay.
targeting them in some way. Harassment's not even one message. Harassment's not like, hey, you suck.
No, they're
That's
going to
not
change
harassment.
definitions to
Harassment
make
is a
themselves look
targeted
better.
campaign towards somebody. That's what harassment is. So you can't be like, oh,
That
this
can't
guy
happen in your
Yeah,
chat.
I'm
DM
not-
me a mean thing. That's not harassment. That's
I'm
not
not.
how
I'm
it
not
happen in your chat,
entirely
can
that
it?
worried about it. It's just, I mean, they did this during the based Oracle thing too. That was. I had to shut my phone off because it was just pinging so much. But
Yeah, if you want,
It-
would you like to see all of the messages of the
I'm-
horrible
that's
fucking
why
things
I'm
that
not-
people say to me?
that's
But
why
I just
I'm
don't
not
say
that
anything. I
worried
don't give a
about it. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. She knows.
I'm not that
So,
worried
yeah.
about it. It's
She
just
knows.
There. It's just there. That's all.
Yeah, it's called being on the internet.
Say that you'll
That's
that
unfortunately
you'll
true.
do something if they're harassing her in your chat. That's a completely fake offer. That's impossible. It can't happen. They can't.
Yeah, because
harass
you
her.
can't.
so dumb. Listen to the words that I'm saying.
What?
If somebody from
Listen to
my
the words
chat
that are coming
is
out of my
From
mouth.
your
harassing-
chat.
From my chat
Deal.
is doing targeted harassment, I will remove them from the community. You stupid. Listen to what's being said.
Yeah, his ears are broken.
Do you understand now, or do I
understand
need to
that.
repeat
Yeah.
it again?
No,
I'm not that worried about it. It's not something to die over or get mad about or disagree on. It is what it is. They're doing what they're doing.
She's
If-
just doing her
if
best
I
to
start
sound
getting,
reasonable to try
you
to
know,
get some of those
multiples from someone else.
6,000
That's
lost subs
exactly
back.
what
This
it
is all
is.
this
so he
is.
can look at it or
Facts.
something. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay, well, there you have it. So it does not seem that she was very successful. At least she's being cordial, which is cool, but it seems like she burned that bridge pretty thoroughly. So what do you guys think? You guys Team Tomato or you Team Andrew? I'm definitely not Team Tomato, but yeah. I'll leave that up to you guys. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll get to the next video. Peace out. See you soon. We'll be back up in like 2 minutes if you want to catch the next one. Let's go.